Guys, we are back here on Radio Row in Los Angeles, and usually it's all football related, and then Polo just comes in off the streets, and he's been here 15 minutes. 15 minutes runs into everybody. Everybody here knows him. I think more people have talked to him than have talked to me the last 4 days that I've been here. And as we're walking around here on Radio Row, Polo goes, "Oh, Joe, you know who this guy is?" And I don't know. I mean, I see masks. I recognize people based on how close they look to their Twitter avatar, and that's and he goes, "Oh, it's the guy that called St. Louis a dump of a city a few days ago." It's Dylan Hernandez from the LA Times, and we're going to put fingers in chests, and we're going to hold people accountable. That's what we're going to do here right now, Polo.
No, the first thing is, Dylan, thank you. You know, Dylan and I have known each other for a long, long time. You know, thank you for being with us. Not thank you for what you said.
Oh, you go. Come on, you know that what I said is true.
Wait, Dylan and I, we've known each other since I worked with the Dodgers. I have the privilege, Joe, to be perhaps the last person who touched Dylan's face besides his wife, and I doubt his wife touches his face. It was about 10 years ago, spring training, and he had. Please take your mask off, Dylan.
I'm just retweeting that this is. I just wrote, this is the fella that called St. Louis a dump of a city.
Yeah, you see
this way people can come on here and they can view this and they can write all kinds of nasty things about you that I'm just only going to see. You're not
Dylan, wait, I shaved him at spring training. At spring training.
You do that to Benji now?
No. Right outside the complex, the Camelback in Arizona for the Dodgers. We were there, and Tommy Lasorda will always give you crap because of that. You are a beautiful man. You're a handsome man. You don't need that beard. And one day I'm like, you know what, Dylan? I'm tired of Tommy yelling at you. Let's shave you. And he agreed. So we pulled a chair right outside, right at the entrance of Camelback. I went into the player's bathroom, grabbed some shaving cream and a shaver, and I shaved. And you look beautiful. Your wife didn't like it, though.
Yeah, it was a Fu Manchu.
We're going to be hanging out the next couple of days, so you're not doing that to me.
No, I'm not.
Right now.
I don't want to touch your face.
This is going on 3 years on the hair. It's not.
I don't want to touch your face.
All right, so Dylan.
But yeah.
Okay.
So just a little before, so people know the relationship that Dylan and I have.
So Dylan, you're writing the column. You're writing that on the Rams and
how they have no fans.
Yeah, how the fan base is terrible. How nobody even showed up to their pep rally the other day. It was, it's pathetic. But then you mentioned the dump of a city.
Yes.
Why throw in that line?
It was mildly gratuitous. I will give you that. I mean, because the point that I was trying to make in that thing, right? The NFL vacated this market for 20 years, so there are a lot of people that grew up without a football team, right? And I basically said that until people have spent, had an entire lifetime of this team being here and this being LA's team, that's not going to change. And, I said, until they stop viewing this as, I think, a refugee, and then I was going to put St. Louis, but as a writer, you're always taught to don't say it the way everybody else would. And the first word that just came into my mind was dump. So I just wrote dump. And honestly, here's the thing. And I never thought about it again. The weird part about this, right? I called Kroenke a Walmart heiress-bearing, Arsenal destroying Kroenke, right?
Okay.
And
we can get on board with this.
I made fun of, because the 49ers don't play in San Francisco proper. They play in Santa Clara, which is about an hour south, and their stadium is right next to what I correctly described. It's something adventure, California Adventure.
America's
something great. What the hell? What was that place called? I used to live there. Anyway, I properly described it as a second-rate amusement park. I talked about the fact that they, to get more parking, they've been trying to annex the nearby fields of a local youth soccer league and kick these kids off their field so they could have more parking, right? And it was in that context that I said, compared to these people, right, Walmart heiress-marrying, Arsenal destroying Kroenke might not be that bad. So I was thinking that people in San Francisco would be people in San Francisco might be upset. I thought the Rams people might be upset because they've been very sensitive when I mentioned Kroenke. Instead, people in St. Louis were very upset. And here's the thing, man. And I saw this, I was on multiple, I guess, newscasts there, right? If I'm a leading news item in your city, you might live in a dump.
You know what? I mean, it's cheap. Well, I don't know. Are you a wrestling fan, Dylan?
No.
Okay, so Polo, it's cheapy. It's cheap pop. To mention Cronky or do something like that, or Demoff too. It's a cheap way to get be top there. I mean, a few years ago in Atlanta, when the Super Bowl was in Atlanta, and the Rams were in there. I wore a shirt that said "I Heart St. Louis" to the media day to interview all of the former St. Louis Rams players. And they had a picture of me standing next to Demoff, and I had somebody. I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go stand next to Demoff. Take that picture of me." That two newscasts. That picture was on there. It's an easy way to get that attention. Yeah.
Hey, look, and I covered, like Polo said, I was the Dodgers beat writer for a long time before I started writing a general column, and so I would go to St. Louis every year, sometimes multiple times a year, right during those years that the Dodgers and Cardinals played in the playoffs. And dude, that downtown sucks, man. I'm sorry. Like, I try to like it, and like, look, I'm a guy that, like, Polo will tell you, right? You're around me, like, it's a good time. Like, I can get drunk in my closet and have a good time. Okay, but downtown there, it's really tough, man. There's nothing open, until they built that like ballpark village
I was
thing.
gonna say, now, yeah, it's changing.
I got a funny story, by the way.
No, with a few weeks ago. No, you're saying that though. A few weeks ago, the Royal Rumble was in town, and I'm talking to WWE PR guys. And they're saying it was Friday night. Like, I tried to go out for a beer and there was nothing open. I said, yeah, because it's not April to October.
Yeah,
it's not baseball season.
And there's nothing to like eat, right? There was like that, there was that one bar, like I kind of like Hair of the Dog or something. It's kind of, but then you come out of there and it's like, if it's LA, there'd be like hot dogs or tacos or something, right? Trucks, whatever out. Nothing. You just go to bed like hungry and sad.
Downtown LA. I mean, I was trying to go out after the basketball game the other day at 10 p.m. Everyone was closing.
No, but the hot dogs were out.
Yeah, the hot dogs. You can find. That's the thing. You can find stuff like there. Like you can't.
I tried to go get a hot dog. I thought there'd be some hot dog stands there for lunch the other day, and I went out and there was one food cart down the street that was serving like lobster for $49.
Hey, it is what it is.
I don't know what part of town you're staying in.
It's Royal Heights, or where are you staying? East Los.
This is out here. I'm staying in East LA. I haven't gone out to any places in East LA.
Oh, you should. No, actually, East LA is like a food mecca.
That's what Polo was telling me. I just haven't been there for dinner yet.
It's not. It's not like dangerous.
When I told people I was staying in East LA, everybody was like, "Oh, you trying to get stabbed?" And I'm like, I don't know the areas, but I've been out there. It could not look like a nicer area.
They are still thinking about the Night Stalker and the movie, the great movie by Cheech and Chong, or Cheech. Born in East LA. No, it's different now.
Yeah, it's kind of.
But going back to dinner in San Luis after the game, you should have gone to White Castle. It's like 2 blocks away.
Was there a White Castle there?
Yes.
I just remember there was like a circus tent like thing that they've always had like next to the ballpark. That was kind of like a bar. It was like in a tent.
Oh yeah, that's by patios.
Yeah. The place that I liked, Rue 13. It was. I'm not exactly sure where it was, but it was a bar, and then they had this little table in the back where this dude would make sushi. And it was actually, I don't know what, like I was probably eating like catfish sushi or something.
Dylan, you're like
I'm half Japanese.
Okay.
Right. So, but it was actually like edible sushi. Like that was, and actually I saw like the funniest thing ever there. So Jeff Passan, my good friend, he's now the baseball writer at ESPN.
Friend?
Yeah.
Like friends?
Yeah. I mean, we're
like you and I, or is it even bigger?
You like that? Yeah. Like we occasionally text and talk.
Remember
and
when
stuff.
you took me to Texas, Fogo de Chao in Arizona?
Fogo de Chao. Yeah.
Thank you, Dylan.
So anyway, I'm meeting Jeff and another writer for drinks, and they're already there, right? And so when I get there, there's this girl. She's kind of built
like me, like big.
Yeah, and she's pouring like ice down like her chest, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. It turns out she was a roller derby girl.
Yeah.
And
probably
we're talking whatever.
Probably from like Granite City, somewhere around.
Yeah.
There,
So we're
just for the local listeners that are.
So we're talking, and she's telling me this story about how once they competed on a concrete track, and one of her teammates, like basically all the she scraped off all the skin on the back of her leg, and so she tied electrical tape around it, taped up her leg with electrical tape, and finished the match. And I tell Passan, dude, you got to hear this story. She repeats the story. Jeff tells her, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Soon she's insulting him, questioning his manhood. You probably only play golf, and they start going back and forth. He makes a remark about how she was drinking by herself, like on a Friday night. Next thing you know, drink in the face. She throws a left hook, catches him. Next thing you know, they're full sprint running around the bar.
The ladies chasing.
The ladies chasing past him. At some point, the bouncers come in. They're dragging her out. She's like, "Bleep this, bleep that. I'm gonna kill you, you MF, blah blah." You know, my brother's Aladdin King. I'm gonna kill you, blah 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 blah.
I didn't know he had those in St. Louis.
So she's now outside pacing, right? She's outside the bar just pacing, like back and forth. And I tell, the bartender's there, and I'm like, okay, like, look, okay, she seemed to hate me the least. So, like, is there a back exit? And so I'm like, look, well, this is what we'll do. I will go to the front, and I'm going to go talk to her and calm her down. And while I'm distracting her, you guys sneak out. So if that works out, fine. Jeff made the mistake, though, of texting me that night. How'd it go? Right? And it went fine. But now I'm thinking like, oh, I have creative license. I can make something up here, right? So I tell him there was this other like random guy, baseball fan, who like recognized us and was drinking with us. And I remember that other guy. Well, he told her who you were. And so she said that she's going to be waiting for you outside of the stadium tomorrow. So Jeff and I are going to the game together, and he's looking over both shoulders like he's scared, seventh inning of the game. I mean, he's still like tense, and he comes over to me. He's like, "Hey, man, do you think she's going to be waiting for me after the game?" And at that point, I didn't have the heart to keep it going. I was just like, "Nah, man, I'm just messing with you." So that's my St. Louis story. That's my most memorable night in St. Louis. It involved a baseball rider getting assaulted and then chased by one of your roller derby.
Don't say one of our roller derby.
And the thing is, like, she in this league, by the way,
like we got St. Louis City SC coming and the roller derby.
Yeah, she had. Well, and here's the thing. She had like a nickname. And the only reason I'm not saying it is just because like I don't want to. You know what I mean? Like, kind of like publicly put her on blast.
I kind of want to hear what this nickname is.
St. Louis a dump of a. By the way, we're Dylan Hernandez, the guy who calls St. Louis a dump. I
need to know this nickname because I will find out who this.
Yeah. Oh, you can know it. She has like a Facebook page and everything. Her name was Kim and Tonic.
Kim
and
Tonic. And that's who she is.
That was her moniker.
Okay.
Wow. Well, Dylan, I mean, this is fun. Like I told you, Joe, this guy.
So man, like,
who he is.
This is weird. No, this is what happens, man. Out of towners, we go to St. Louis, and next thing we know, we're getting chased by crazy roller derby people.
Yeah, I mean,
that's your city, man. Take some responsibility. Look, like I'll take responsibility for all the crap out here. This place is no peach either. Look, here's the truth. You live in the United States, you probably live in a dump. Okay, Go to Sydney, go to Tokyo, go to Toronto. Those are like real cities. Okay, this place, I mean, and it's really sad, I think, because we have, when you think about like the natural beauty in this country and the diversity of it, and that we've turned it into a giant mall, basically. Yes, go ahead.
His last name is Hernandez. He's not Mexican. Just so you know, he's not Mexican.
Sure.
He doesn't represent me.
No, I'm Salvadorian. My children are half Mexican, though.
By the way, I'm glad they look like your wife, because you're horrible. You're ugly mofo.
So after all this, are you going to plan a trip to St. I saw Derek Gould reached out.
Yes.
And he said he was going to take
Dude, honestly, that's what I called Polo about this, because I felt bad because Derek Gould's like a legit nice guy.
The nice,
right? And like, it made me feel bad that like he felt bad. You know what I'm saying? Like so that bothered me. And like, I spent like a whole day crafting a response saying, I think I said, you're a true gentleman, and I would hang out with you anywhere, even St. Louis. Smiley face.
I mean, so I think one of the reasons that it hits so many people so hard is, and I have seen this, and I've seen this happen this week. I don't think the rest of the country realizes what St. Louis went through losing the Rams and the way that it went. I mean, for 10 years, they went out of their way to try to be a terrible football team and succeeded in being a terrible football team. And then on their way out, trashed the city of St. Louis and the lying and deceitfulness that went into all of that. And this week, I have had people And, the Rams are. You're from St. Louis. You must be thrilled. The Rams made the Super Bowl. Like, no. Like, then I'll bring up the $790 million that which, as an LA writer, you're aware of what happened.
Right.
I mean, an owner of the team had to dish out $750 million. That's going to affect somewhere. It has to affect somewhere along his team. You talk to other people around the country; they have no clue that happens. They have the NFL did such a great job of sweeping that under the rug.
Yeah,
nobody realizes that that's a way of admitting guilt. That they they were wrong and they did that. So instead of having a big trial right now in St. Louis during Super Bowl week, nobody cares.
Well, again, and I think anybody that follows soccer at all, right? Just like you look at like Arsenal, they were the Invincibles, right? They went undefeated in like the Premier League, which unlike any other soccer league has revenue sharing. It's the type of league where, like the NFL, right? Worst team on any given weekend could beat the first place team, and it happens. They went undefeated there. He buys them. Now they're barely scraping into the Europa League, which is like the NIT of, European soccer competition. So that said, see, here's the thing about LA, though. And I think maybe this is where, because I think people were kind of, like you said, I think people were upset that we weren't upset on behalf of St. Louis, right? And honestly, maybe this is callous on our part, but we kind of don't care, right? It's kind of like, of course, like you'd rather be in LA, but there's just like also, the default, I remember when the Rams first moved here, I was talking to somebody in the organization. They won 4 games that first year, right? That was Jeff Fisher's last year. And somebody was telling me, I was really worried about what you guys were going to write about us. And then I found out that the truth was even worse. And he tells me, you stopped showing up completely, right? And it's true. Like, we have so many options here. Yeah. It's that, it's on Kroenke. Here's the thing, right? The 790, whatever, right? If it affects the team, whatever, fine. We have another one, right? And you know what? That one doesn't work out. It doesn't matter because a lot of people here still cheer for the Raiders or the Cowboys or the 49ers. We have 2 MLS teams, right? On TV, it's actually easier to watch Mexican soccer in Los Angeles than it is in Mexico. Like almost every single game is literally on the air somewhere in Los Angeles. So like we have just so many entertainment options that it's just kind of, if it works, fine. If it doesn't, whatever, if you want to, and here's the thing is like the standard to actually represent the city is very high, right? I mean, right now it's Dodgers and it's Lakers. And when you think about like what the Lakers had to do to get there, right? I mean, they won 3 consecutive championships. I mean, where it became automatic, right? Kobe, Shaq, it's going to be a championship. The Dodgers committing as much money as they did, being kind of this perennial contender now, right? Spending money like at an unprecedented level that, right, Major League Baseball's seen. That's kind of like what's required now. Like, I don't really think, Los Angeles is about big events. And so sure, are we, right? Just like we get excited over the ESPYs or the Oscars or, the Grammys or whatever. Well, the ESPYs, they make a big deal out of it here, right? It's an event, right? This is an event. Now, I think the fact that it's a Super Bowl is bigger than the fact that the Rams are in it. The Rams are still in this process of trying to win the city over. And so, with Kroenke, sure, like obviously, like we know his history, but it's like, well, you want to matter here, make yourself matter. You're whatever. And if you don't, whatever, we'll just not pay attention to you and we don't really care.
Yeah.
It's just kind of the way it is, like you said, I've been to Cardinal games. My brother actually went to medical school in St. Louis. And I remember for like his medical school classes graduation thing, they gave all the students Cardinal tickets. Nice. So he was able to get an extra ticket. We took the train down to the stadium, got absolutely hammered. We're watching the game there. And it's cool watching a game when, people are oohing and eyeing over every, ball and strike, right? Yeah. There is something cool to that. I kind of do think you guys take it a little too far with the best fans in baseball thing. It feels a little sanctimonious to me.
It's baseball hell.
Baseball heaven. Yeah, it feels a little sanctimonious to me, honestly. But like,
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. It hits the nail right on the head.
But that's cool, too. Yeah. It's different, right? Like whatever. But like, this is what I don't get about this, right? Like if somebody were to call like LA a dump, I would be like, yeah, I mean the truth, like. if everything were equal in terms of like in the United States, I'd probably live in San Diego. It's a lot nicer down there. The weather is better. It's just cleaner. Everything's just better down there. But right now, my parents live like less than a mile from me. They're helping me raise my children. My brother is within, my brother's within driving distance, right? And honestly, if you took us all and moved us to St. Louis, I'd probably be just as happy. I lived in the Bay Area before this. The Bay Area, again, is nicer than Los Angeles, okay? But I'm happier now than I was then because I'm around people that like are more important to me, right? So like, I don't know, like, why can't you just take that attitude of like, who cares? Like, yes, our city's like, I'll say this, like, from the outside, St. Louis is like that postcard that you kind of don't want to go into. Like, it's pretty from the, like the arch and stuff. The arch sucks.
You see the arch at night without the lights? Yeah,
I've been in the arch. The arch sucks, man.
Like, Polo, you see, hey, look at that. It helps our Polo
and after, like, yeah, and that's the thing. You know what? I remember the one place. I remember the one place where I could go eat, by the way, late at night. It was that casino where that dude got killed in the parking lot.
You have to be more specific.
Yo. But I remember it's like I'm like looking up stuff on Yelp. The only thing that was open was that casino.
The one next to the stadium?
Yeah, I don't know if it's next. I don't think it's like right next to it. It's like we had to jump. Yeah, that one.
Lumiere, okay.
Yeah, and like the week before. Now this was like again, I don't know how many years ago, but like the week before, somebody had been killed in the parking lot there. So we're making this decision: are we gonna go? Should we go? Should we go?
It happens.
Right now, you shouldn't go. Back then, you'd be fine. But now, people are looking for you, Dylan. People are looking.
What are they gonna do? Pavel on my cheese? On my pizza?
On your beard, and then go like that. But hey,
toasted ravioli sucks, by the way.
Whoa! You went too far now. You see, you can call it a dump of a city.
Dude, that's not.
T-Rams are
We're
delicious.
We're out of time.
T-Rams are. What the hell did you bring over here, Polo?
Hey, my good friend Dylan Hernandez. I told you, this guy. He wrote what he did.
He wrote what he did. The truth. They call me Dylan the Truth Hernandez.
Wow. Now we're going into wrestling part of Dylan. Now, all right, Dylan. All right.
I'm looking to see when the Dodgers come to St. Louis this
I'm
this
not
year.
going for a regular season game. I'm a columnist. I don't go if this is the playoffs. Come on.
Tell him that. July 12th, 13th, and 14th.
Yeah, our scrub beat writer, Jack Harris, will be there. I'm not going to that.
You guys have a new one.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm too big to go to St. Louis for a regular season game. Are you kidding me? My picture's in the paper.
We'll see you in October. We'll see you there in October.
You guys won't be there. No one's gonna be there. There's gonna be no baseball this year. Have you actually read anything that anybody's actually saying?
It'll be back at some point.
Oh, please. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Hey, our best case is like August.
That's fine. We still
2
have
month
October.
season.
We'll still have October.
Right.
Maybe the playoffs.
And we will not. Right. In that case, the Dodgers probably won't even go to St.
You'll
Louis.
love St. Louis in November. That's.
I mean, again. Yeah. I had. God, who was that? Oscar. Remember after the Dodgers got knocked out? I think it was in 13, 14. Were those 2 years?
Yeah.
14. It was. When did Tavares die? I was in a bar with him, and then like. However many weeks later, like he was gone. Yeah, that was.
I think that was. I want to say 13, 14.
Way to keep us depressed, this guy. He was like, ha.
And then high note.
Yeah. I'm sorry that I did that. I put myself in a bad.
Dodgers in the postseason.
Not happening.
Kershaw against a lefty from Dylan Carlson, and then boom, and there goes Kershaw again.
At Dylan O. Hernandez is where you can tweet your hate at him on Twitter, as many of you have already done after his article. Then we have run out of time. We got to get going here on on Claims Online.
St. Louis Acura was the #1 Acura dealer in Missouri in 2021, and we were the 17th in the nation for Acura sales volume. We sell over 100 pre-owned vehicles monthly, and we service all of the makes and models that we sell. We are waiting for verification of our 30th Acura Precision Team Award, the only dealer in the nation with so many awards for customer satisfaction and dealership performance. We have 300 pre-owned vehicles in stock right now. St. Louis Acura, better than ever for you.